everyone, welcome back. Today I am actually really excited. We are going to be practicing some wedding makeup. I have a friend who's getting married at the beginning of September and I am doing her wedding makeup. So today we're going to do a little practice run on myself. That way when she comes and practices later, I kind of have a better idea of what we're going to try and see if she likes it. And then if she doesn't like it, then we'll try something else. But this is kind of the look that I think we're going to go with, or I'm imagining so far. So before we get started, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, and we'll get going. My friend has a little bit more of a drier skin type than I do, so for primer, I think what I'm going to go in with is this First Aid Beauty, the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I know I've just been testing it out this month. I have really been enjoying it. I took it to Omaha with me. I've used it darn near every single day. This is really nice, especially with the heat. Keeps everything nice and moisturized, and it does even give a little bit of a glow. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. I used this at her bridal shower and it wore beautifully on her. So I think this is what we're going to stick with. For concealer, I'm going to be using my Jouer. I don't remember what concealer I used on her for her bridal shower, but I know that my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer works for her because I used that one for her engagement photos. So if this color is too dark for her, I will use my Radiant Creamy one from NARS, but I tend to like this one a bit more right at this point in time. And then for powder, I'm going to be using my Ride or Die Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. So I kind of do my eyes out of order. Before I finish the face, I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow primer. This just helps me when I'm powdering the face. I tend to hit my eyes and then applying this later, it kind of looks goofy. So I'm going to apply my eyeshadow primer, and it's a wedding, so I'm going to apply my trusty Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I've got a few other ones, and right now this is the one that's been making the most impact for me in the terms of creasing. Especially for me, I have really hooded eyes. My friend does not, so hopefully this will help. For setting the face, I'm going to be using the Kosas Air Cloud Setting Powder. This is personally one of my favorites, but I've also been testing out the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder. That one too is very good, so I'll probably let her choose which one she wants to use. But for today, we're just going to go in with the Kosas. Just like every other powder that I use, I still go in with my damp sponge and just go over everywhere. That way it doesn't leave any powdery finish. Again, my friend has a bit more drier skin type than I do. We have been using powders for her events just because that's what I'm most comfortable with. But I think for our practice round a few weeks before her wedding, I will let her pick if she wants to use a cream or a powder, bronzer, and blush. But for today, I am going to be using powders, obviously, because I set my face first. But I'm going to be using my Gucci bronzing powder for now. And I just like to start on the cheeks. I kind of start it like at the top of the hollow point. I feel like it helps lift my face if I don't do it directly in my hollow point right here. If I do it a little above, I feel like it doesn't make my face look so round. Do hit the forehead a bit too. I do like a mini contour thing on my nose. I just take it kind of on the sides and on the underneath. And then when I blend it out a little bit better with my sponge, it doesn't look so like white nose. And then I also take bronzer under the jawline and down the neck. Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I'll probably give her the option if she wants to contour before bronzing. I do have the Patrick Ta contour and bronzing duo that I really, really like, and I think I'll give her that option too. I don't particularly contour all the time. In fact, I rarely do it. I just kind of use bronzing powder to hit those places. And I've not done it for her engagement photos or her bridal shower. But if she wants to do it for her wedding, I will totally give her the option. I have so many options for blush. I don't know how I decide on what blush to wear every day. But I think for today, I'm going to go in with the Heaven's Glow blush from M Cosmetics. This is in the shade Venetian Rose. This is the blush I used for her bridal shower. And I use this one because one, it's got a really nice glow to it, but two, it's really rosy and it's bold and it shows up really nicely in pictures. If she doesn't want this one, that's okay. I've got a lot of other options for her, but this is the one that has been working out really nicely for her photos. I try not to go too heavy-handed with this blush because it is intense, but I'm sure that's why it works so well for photos. Now I'm going to go in with my sponge and we're going to blend it out as much as we can. Maybe tone it down where I put a little bit too much. And then for highlight, I've got a few options for her as well. Personally, I would be, and what we're going to use today, I will pick the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is in the shade Opal. It's a really nice like white gold type color. And with her wedding color, her main color being gold, like that's the eye look she wants, is a gold look. This is the one I would use because it's still very bright, but it does have a hint of that gold to it. But I've also got really nice shades with the Nabla Skin Glazing. I've got the shade Ozone. That's a really good highlight. I've got the Hourglass Strobe Glistening one. That's also got a bit of a goldish, glowy, champagne-y tone to it. Oh, and then obviously the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. They're all really good choices. Today we're going to be using the Becca one, like I said, and I'll let her choose which one she wants. And we're going to put it on the high points of the face and kind of do like the C shape around the eye. And I like to stop it like at the high point of the arch in my eyebrow. I do a little bit on the tip of the nose, a little on like the bridge of the nose, kind of where I put the bronzer and the blush as well. And then a little on the Cupid's bow. And then depending on how the eyeshadow look turns out, I'll probably use this again for the inner corner highlight in my eyes. Don't worry though, we are going to use a sponge and we're going to blend it out, make it look a little more like a lit from within type of glow, so it's not standing out on her face. For setting spray, I used the Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist. I am actually out of it, so I did have to repurchase it. It is such a pretty setting spray in my opinion. It really has got the gold flakes in it, and I think it's really pretty. But it set her face like a dream. She told me like to get it off, she really had to work for it, which is the point for engagement photos, bridal shower, wedding, right? So this is the one I'm going to be using for her. So my setting spray trick is I have one. It's my Peach Mist from Too Faced. My little like sprayer thing in the bottle is, I lost it, like it popped out. So it kind of like shoots at you now. So I've always just been using it on my sponge, like shooting the spray on the sponge and then using the sponge to set my face. So I kind of want to see if I can do that with this, because I have found that my face lasts really nicely when I use setting spray like that. I think we're pretty damp, so yeah. Alright, I'm feeling very set. I like this stuff a lot. For the eyebrows, I am going to be using the Essence Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil and also the Benefit Gimme Brow. This is what I've been using for her eyebrows. She's the same shade as I am, and it's been working really nicely. But I mean, it's a wedding, so I do want to fill in a little bit more for her. So I'm going to be using the eyebrow pencil, and I hope this shade matches her as well as it matches me. But it works really nicely and it lasts very nicely. So I think the two combined will give her great eyebrows. But I am going to do this part off camera, so please enjoy the intermission. My eyebrows look a little intense. I'm not gonna lie, but they're filled in, they're floofed up, so now we're gonna move on to the eyes. Like I mentioned, she wants more of a gold look, so the two palettes that I pulled out are the Natasha Denona Gold palette, obviously, and then the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette. I think these two will work really nicely together. And then I also pulled out the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner because I have an idea. Also, I don't exactly know if she wants a really glittery look or if she wants a more just like natural shimmer look or if she wants a complete matte look. We've done a little bit of both matte and shimmer for the past two looks, so I'll probably let her decide, but this is going to be my version of it, so of course we're going to have glitter. So to begin, we're going to go in with this shade. It's called Sandstone, and this is out of the Natasha Denona palette. I am planning on a cut crease, so I'm just going to take this in my crease area and above, but it can be a little bit messy for now. I think that's pretty good for now. I am trying to take my time with this. It is going to be a wedding look, so I just want to practice it, how I'm going to perform it, and hopefully it will all come together and she'll look stunning. Next, I'm going to go into my Tati palette. We're going to go into this matte brown, which is called Ritual. I'm still using a pretty fluffy brush, but it's a little more detailed. It's got more of a point to it. And the point of this is to have it a little bit more precise. So I am still going to go in my crease, and because my eyes are hooded, I am going to take it a bit above and blend it into that Sandstone shade. I'm going to go back into the brush I was using Sandstone on to try to blend it out a little bit. That brush was a little bit too pointed for me to do any blending, but it was nice to pack it on. I'm going to do the same to this eye, just pack it on everywhere I want this color to be. And my left eye is more hooded than my right eye, so I really have to pay attention where it's going to show up with my eyes open. Let's go back into our Sandstone brush and blend. The nice thing about using these two palettes is both the Tati formula and the Natasha Denona formula, they blend out so easily. It takes just about no work, no effort. That's where I want the browns for now, so we are going to cut the crease. For today, because I'm just practicing, I have seen this hack, I guess, around TikTok that women are using Vaseline to cut their crease. I don't have Vaseline, so I'm going to try it with Vicks Vapor Rub. We're going to give it a go. If you have tried this before and you're like, oh my gosh, please don't do that, just leave me a comment below. I'll figure it out eventually. I guess we'll find out, right? But this is what I have on hand. If I like how this performs, I'll probably go get Vaseline. So what I have been told is you put it on, you do the same trick of put it on the lash line, open up your eyes, and then you can see the line. It's kind of hard with Vicks. I'm sure it's probably kind of hard with Vaseline too. So now I'm taking a paper towel bunched up and I'm just going to wipe away where I put the Vicks. Ooh, that worked pretty well too. And supposedly this hack is basically wherever you put the Vicks is the only places that will be able to pull up. So if you're scared that you're gonna like get your paper towel and wipe away what you actually want still, it's not supposed to. Cool, I think that worked out really nicely. I will say I forgot that Vicks has a the scent or the feeling, so this eye is a little watery because it's got that like mint peppermint scent to it and it's on the eye. So I probably will pick up some Vaseline, but the Vicks Vapor Rub works too. Okay, let's do eye number 2. So just so you know, the Vicks Vapor Rub, it works, but like the scent and the cough suppressantness to it on the eyes is not recommended. I don't recommend it. Makes my eyes run really bad. I like the smell of this stuff. It helps me when I have colds. For the eyes, it's probably not my best move. But it worked the way the Vaseline trick worked that I saw on TikTok. Now we're going to go into the eye primer. This is from Juvia's Place. and this is what I'm going to use to fill in where we just cut the crease. So I use a smaller flat brush for this. I'm going to start at the top because I like making the line is like the most nerve-wracking for me. And then once I feel comfortable with the line that I've made, I will then fill in the rest of that space. Now to set this, I'm going to take a very light color. We're going to go back into the Tati palette and we're going to pick this Aura shade. This is a matte shade, but this is just going to help set that primer. I'm still taking it on another flat brush. I think this color only tints it just a little bit. It's a really light color, but it gives it still a pretty neutral look. Now that your primer is set, we're going to go in with the gold. The gold shade that I like to use is this one from the Natasha Denona palette. This is called Kava, and it's more of like a gold topper. It's not a full opaque gold. So I use my fingers and I am just packing it on. It's okay if it's a little messy because we're still going to clean up the outer third here, and if it goes a little bit above the crease, that's okay. But you can always use a small brush and get it into those tiny spots that your finger doesn't reach. So for me, that's the very inner corner here. And then I'm also going to use this little brush to go along the edge of that cut crease. Now we're going to go back into the dark brown color from the Tati palette, this Ritual shade. I'm going to use the same pointy brush that I used to pack on the color. We're going to cover up that outer line from our cut crease. And then I'm going to go back into our Teak shade from the Natasha Denona palette. With that brush, I'm just going to take a tiniest amount, and then we're going to blend the line. Now I'll probably ask my friend if she wants to have more of a angled look, but for me, I'm going to keep it pretty round. And I'm just going to continue to dip into the Teak shade to blend as much as I need to. I am going to take the Ritual shade and we're going to put a little on the lower lash line. I'm just going to put it on the outer third here. And I like to make sure that that outer third corner connects to like our top lash. And really, I'm going to bring that color about halfway. Next, I'm going to take a smaller brush. We're going to go into the Sandstone shade and finish off the lower lash line. Just blend that together and then it will go all the way to the inner corner. Now I'm going to take a big fluffy brush with no product on it and we're going to go all around the eyes and blend everything. So like down here I got a little bit too much, so this blank brush will help sweep that away. And then once I feel good about that, I'm going to dive into the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Eyeliner. So this is in the shade Midnight Cowboy. This is the gold one. And what I have the idea to do is right at the top of my cut crease, like basically on that line, I'm going to take this glitter I got it a little thick on this side, but I don't plan to do that for my friend, so I'm just kind of fixing it to be a bit thicker. And I also want to start it like way down here in this inner corner, so it's like a nice shoop. Well, I bumped it again, so I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. But basically, this would be the look. It's got very neutral, a little bit of gold, a little bit of glitter gold, and see how she likes it. So I'm going to put on some mascara, and we'll come back to finish up the lips. So for mascara, I just used my Maybelline Sky High mascara. I have a different one I'm planning to purchase for my friend because it's the one we used for her engagement photos, and sadly I ran out of it. So I am going to repurchase a new mascara for her. And then I also went ahead and used an eyeliner in my waterline. It's from ColourPop, and I used the shade Get Paid. I think it helps keep the eyes open. However, I think this shade was a little too dark, so I've got two other colors for her to choose from. I've got the shade Peach Fuzz and then Exit, which is like a more peachy nude, and then a white as well for her to choose from. The This one is the one I used today. It's just a little too dark to go with the gold topper shade that we used. And then for lips, I'm going to go with some of my staple products. We're going to line the lips with my Nabla lip liner. This is in the shade Nude number 2. The shade is a lot more brown than some of the other Nabla liners that I have. And then I do want to add a little bit of a darker one, kind of like how we did on the eyes. So this is a ColourPop Lippy Pencil in this shade Control. And I just want to add a little definition to the corners. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit. And then for today, I'm going to be dipping into my Ofra and Samantha March lip gloss. This is in the shade Queen. And those are the lips. I am thinking I might go try and pick up some different lipsticks this weekend, but we'll see. Today, I'm very happy with it. Alright, here is our finished look. I'm actually really happy with it. I think it's a pretty look. I know my friend told me she wanted gold and she wanted to go a little bit bolder for her actual wedding day than what we did for her engagement photos in her bridal shower. So this is what my take is on a little bit more bold for her. You'll have to let me know if you have any like good makeup wedding tricks, tips that you saw that I was making. No, that came out wrong. If you have any good tips or trips for any mistakes you saw that I was making, I would love to hear what they are. I really want this day to be perfect for her, especially when it comes to her makeup. So you'll have to let me know your thoughts on this look and if you have any suggestions on what I could do better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. It just helps me out and lets me know you guys are enjoying the content. I'm here on Tuesdays and Fridays, 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.